Hey guys, welcome back to another video where I'm bringing those daily cryptocurrency news articles. Today's article comes from Cointelegraph, and this is on the business of a Bitcoin standard. Profit, people, and a passion for good food. I thought this was a very nice article and probably should get more eyes seen on it, but I'm not sure if it will. But I thought this was pretty good because it just shows how a person can change their Hey guys, welcome back to another cryptocurrency news article for you. Today's article comes from the Cointelegraph and looks like it is on the business of a Bitcoin standard. Profit, people, passion for good food. And yeah, so this was a great article. I thought it was worth being shared with you guys because it's showing a guy who basically was able to convince his friends to go on a Bitcoin standard with the business. So yeah, let's go over this. Here's how the co-founder of a Middle Eastern restaurant convinced his colleagues to upgrade their franchise to a Bitcoin standard. Very, very nice. The Canadian restaurant franchise Tahini's serves Middle Eastern-inspired food with a Bitcoin-inspired twist. Since August 2020, when the price of Bitcoin was under $20,000, the group has operated on a Bitcoin standard, with any profits it makes swept into BTC. The Tahini's Twitter account has since argued that Bitcoin is the most Islamic thing Muslims can do with their wealth, and the group educates its customers on sound money. It has even become a niche bear market meme, with Michael Saylor famously saying he might apply to work night shifts at the Tahini's during a January price correction. Yep, and here is his tweet: may I apply for the night shift? Has his laser eye or lightning laser eyes and a Tahini's hat on. But Cointelegraph spoke with Ali Hammam, co-founder and chief marketing officer of Tahini's, to understand the whys, how, and unintended consequences of operating under a Bitcoin standard. Hammam was the driving force of the Bitcoin adoption in the Middle Eastern chain. Here's some photos of them. It looks like they even got a Bitcoin ATM in there. Very nice. But Hammams first learned about Bitcoin in 2016 or 2017, but discarded the innovation as a Ponzi scheme or rat poison as he was dissuaded by its negative press. It took the COVID-19 pandemic and its real-world consequences for Hammam's Bitcoin light bulb moment to take place. Ding! In March of 2020, we got hit with the lockdowns, and the fear our sales at the restaurant dropped 70% in a week, and yet there was more money flowing around with our employees. Our fellow Canadians, everybody just had more money. Inspired by the writings of Robert Breedlove, a Bitcoin influencer and entrepreneur, sound money in the form of Bitcoin dawned on him. Hammam said that he and his company needed to find a better way to store value. Money is going to be worthless, he said. It sort of clicked for me that this is a once in a multi-generational type of breakthrough and invention. The idea of absolute fixed money is something that we've never seen in history before. Hammam was hooked. He went all in, devouring Bitcoin-focused books, podcasts, and in some cases not sleeping as he educated himself and fell deeper down the rabbit hole. That's such a good feeling when you first get into it. It grew into a way of life where it's like, okay, this is something that I should be integrating with every single aspect of my life, from my kids' education funds to my business. Armed with freshly acquired knowledge, Hamal met with his business partners at Tahini's to pitch the idea of running the business on a Bitcoin standard. The argument behind having the Bitcoin standard, a term popularized by Safieddin Ammous, author of the eponymous book, The Bitcoin Standard, is that not Bitcoin is not just a better reserve currency than the US dollar, it's actually a superior currency. Here he is with, I believe, some from Coinbase. Let's see, author of the Bitcoin Standard on the left. Oh, no, so that's the author of it. Showed up for us, so very, very cool. And consequently, the business should carve out a route with profits and Bitcoin in mind. For Tahini's, that means keeping a working capital of roughly 6 months of expenses on hand, according to Hammam. Anything beyond that number is considered treasury, and we sweep it into Bitcoin. So some months we will buy a little bit more aggressively when the price is down, and then the months after that we will slow down a little bit, but we kind of have depending on how much the company makes. Now, to the doubters, Mom said, we always try to manage it in a way where we never have to sell any Bitcoin. That's the key part. Hammam claimed that while he has gifted BTC to his family and friends, he's never sold it. Tahini is working to put in place the infrastructure required to accept Bitcoin as a payment, but the process is challenging, not due to regulation or payment processors, but because the franchise wants to hold the Bitcoin it accepts. Even if you're going to accept Bitcoin, work it out in a way where you never have to sell it, Hamad explained. Here's the Tahini's website's tweet. Today we met at Tahini's Hamont with Shake Pay and Incentive Brew, an amazing group of Bitcoiners from all over Canada. We all have one mission to make Bitcoin the standard. And there's a little video about it. The inevitable publicity bump that comes from jumping on the Bitcoin accepted here bandwagon is attractive, Hamam said, but if you're selling your Bitcoin immediately after you receive it, then you don't really get Bitcoin, in my opinion, which is true. Hamam mentioned the Strike Lightning Network integration as an attractive proposition, as it would eliminate the high fees charged by MasterCard, but it's still pretty early to explore payment options when the priority is growing the business. Ultimately, in a developed economy like Canada, with comparably high levels of trust in institutions, Bitcoin is primarily a savings tool. Equally, Tahini is not currently exploring paying salaries in Bitcoin, as the franchise does not want to force a cryptocurrency onto its staff. But that hasn't stopped Hamam from persuading Canada's conservative leadership candidate, Pierre Poilievre, from buying shawarma with Bitcoin on the Lightning Network. After Hamam's orange pilled the heck out of him, it was the first Bitcoin transaction made at Tahini's, performed by an increasingly pro-Bitcoin politician, Andrew Lawton. Conservative leadership candidate Pierre buys chicken shawarma from the real Tahini's using the Bitcoin Lightning Network transaction. Cost was 1 Satoshi, which the consumer covers. This was the first Bitcoin purchase at Tahini's. Very nice. On a personal level, Hamam and more devout Bitcoiners among the management team raised questions such as, have you heard about Bitcoin? Did you know you can buy a fraction of a Bitcoin? And even, maybe you should think about putting a few dollars in the Bitcoin retirement plan. Inevitably, the orange pilling is far more successful when the price is on a tear. If the price is dropping, it's a bit more challenging. When China cracked down on crypto, for example, some of Hamam's management team freaked out a little bit. Indeed, the 300% gains Cointelegraph reported earlier this year have begun to melt away. Hamam said that his conviction was enough to steer the ship and settle his colleagues' nerves. Running a restaurant on a Bitcoin standard comes with a side of zealotry. While Hamam sings the premier cryptocurrency praises, there is also a community of passion BTC aficionados who back Tahini's investment decision and continue to offer support. The amount of love that I have for Bitcoin community is, I can't even describe it. People that have never even tried our food. However, Hamam said that the Bitcoin community has not directly impacted sales, as it's still a tiny, albeit vocal community worldwide. Nonetheless, the business kept its head above water during the 2021 market turmoil and plans to expand to over 25 franchises in 2022. Hamam is resolute in his decision to put the profits into Bitcoin, even in the face of a tumultuous economic backdrop. You're still going to gain the same benefits anyone else would gain, or Michael Saylor would gain, or Elon Musk would gain. The company has aligned itself with the mission of Bitcoin while, of course, serving great food to anyone. More and more companies could follow their lead and operate on a Bitcoin standard. While Hamam jokes there might be a Middle Eastern dish that riffs on the cryptocurrency hitting the franchise soon. So yeah, a bunch of companies can learn from this. Like Michael Saylor was definitely the first, and he's got a lot of it. And these guys are testing it out, or like they're doing it because it's like they see Bitcoin as a store of value, a savings account. They don't want to spend it. It'll do a lot better than the current system when that completely shuts down, because you already see its value being deteriorated. Like $1 is still $1, but hey, gas went up 50%, your food went up 25%. So like it's losing its value. So Bitcoin may have had just a little bit of a dip, but that's okay. It's still a solid technology. It's holding strong, and yeah, if more companies do this, having a Bitcoin standard, they can learn from this Middle Eastern restaurant Tahini's. Like, how are they doing it? They're only having, they have 6 months of expenses paid off, and then anything outside of those 6 months is a profit, and that can go straight into Bitcoin. So yeah, it's like a little thing. You don't have to be 100% it. Just have it as the new Treasury Department. So yeah, we'll keep up to date with that. I love these articles when people adopt it and put the Bitcoin standard into their real life. So very, very cool. If you guys thought so too, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a beat, And until next time, guys, the Crypto Sherpa is out.